Well, hello and welcome to the Ashgabat Olympic Stadium for the AFC Champions League 2 round of 16 first leg clash between Turkmenistan champions Arkadag and the star-studded Al-Nassr of the Saudi Pro League. Well, Jorge Jesus' side will be hoping and expecting to set themselves up for the second leg in Riyadh next week. And after coming through the group stage with a perfect record to top Group D, today's host, though, might prove a very awkward opponent. They've proved difficult to beat, and they aren't used to losing. In fact, since their formation just 3 years ago, Arkadag have never lost a home game. Well, it's currently the off-season in Turkmenistan, so Arkadag haven't seen any competitive action since December, when a 1-0 win against Bahrain's Al-Nassr sealed qualification for the knockout stage. So will they be well rested, or will they be rusty? We'll have the answer in the next 90 minutes or so. Really is a beautiful arena, this one. Initially built in 2003, renovated again in 2017, holds around 45,000 when it's full to capacity. Arkadag have already tasted success in AFC club competition by lifting the AFC Challenge League trophy last season and are hoping for a prolonged stay in this competition. But it's a big step up in quality here against a club looking for their first continental trophy since winning the old Cup Winners' Cup back in 1998. Well, Arkadag, champions of Turkmenistan for the last 3 seasons. The club, remember, only formed in 2023, and they have won every domestic league game that they've ever played. They won all 28 league games last season to pick up a maximum 84 points, finished 30 points clear of second-placed Al-Hilal. They are dominant in Turkmenistan, and they are hoping to take that consistent form again into AFC club competition. They only won 1 game in the group stage, but they only lost 1 as well. 4 draws proving enough. The win in the final round match enough to see them qualify for the round of 16. But Al-Nassr could be a very difficult proposition. Going well in the Saudi Pro League, currently second, just 1 point behind Al-Hilal, 2 ahead of Al-Ahly, 20 games into the season. They started the campaign in fine form, winning their opening 10 Saudi Pro League games before suffering a draw and 3 straight losses. But they currently are on a run of 6 straight wins again. Looking good to qualify for the Champions League Elite next season if they keep up their current form.
Okay, Wayne, so just to let you...
Well, the home fans hoping for an upset here. 2-legged tie, remember. The winners of this go through to face the winner of either Al-Zawra or Al-Wasl. Al-Zawra, the side from Iraq, currently 3-2 up from the first leg. Well, the form book points towards Al-Nassr, but they are missing a number of their big stars for the match here this evening. The Arkadag squad is consisting entirely of players from Turkmenistan, and plenty of them from the Turkmenistan national team as well. So a first game since December the 24th, that crucial 1-0 win against Al-Nassr of Bahrain, a match they had to win to jump above their opponents into the top 2 and qualify for the knockout stage. Well, it's a fabulous setting, it's a fabulous scene here. The colour of the stadium changing from pink to green. Green, the colours of Arkadag, but they will be in white this evening. Al-Nassr in the traditional yellow and blue. So the 2 sets of players make their way out then. Arkadag have won their last 5 at home in all competitions. since a 1-1 draw here against Al-Nassr in November in the group stage of this competition. There are 13 games unbeaten at home since a 1-0 loss to Al-Nassr back in May. Well, it's arena fitting for the knockout stage of this competition. Well, a fabulous sound all around this arena then, willing their side potentially to a quarter-final of the AFC Champions League 2. Al-Nassr, though, despite the missing big names, still big favourites to make it through over the two legs. Finished 3 points behind Al-Nassr in their group, Arkadag, but are a very difficult proposition to beat. Orazov Mergev goes with the tried and trusted and makes just the one change from last time out back in December, with Turkmen international Rezu Hoyev returning to the centre of midfield in a side that is littered with players from the Turkmenistan national team. Right winger Yaglic Gurbanov scored the crucial winner against Al-Qaeda, which saw Arkadag rise above their Bahrainian opponents and grab second place in the table. Two captains tonight. Abdullah Al-Amri for Al-Nassr, Mekan Saparov wearing the armband for Arkadag. Amar Mahfoud from Bahrain is the referee for this one tonight. A team entirely of Bahrainian officials. Well, mass changes for Al-Nassr, with 8 players stepping down from the weekend win against Al-Ittihad. Bento remains in goal, with only captain Abdullah Al-Fayha returning in the back four. All change in the midfield too, with Angelo the only survivor from Saturday. Marcelo Brozovic, Kingsley Coman, João Felix, Sadio Mane all left out entirely, and there's no Cristiano Ronaldo once again. How inspiring will this setting be for Arkadag, starting the game as underdogs? Success last season in the AFC Challenge League. Much tougher opposition this time around. They've achieved the first target of reaching the knockout stage. Can they go even further? So Arkadag get us underway to the mighty roar of the packed Ashgabat Olympic Stadium. The champions and cup winners, the double winners of Turkmenistan for the last 3 successive seasons for a club only formed in 2023. It's been a remarkable rise. Could the rise continue into the quarter-finals of the AFC Champions League 2? Al-Nassr, certainly one of the favourites to go all the way. Inch perfect so far with their performances. 6 wins out of 6 in Group D, scored 22 goals and conceded just 2 to finish 9 points clear. At the top, free kick quickly taken by Angelo. Al-Amri in space. Shifts the ball out to Salem in at left back this evening. He was caught there. It's a free kick for Al-Nassr. Salem going short to the captain, Al-Amri. George Jesus, 71 now, remarkable character, such an experienced coach. Took over in July after leaving Al Hilal in May after a couple of years in charge. Well, Salem left the header a bit short and Bento had to be quickly off his line to grab that. Gurbanov looking to pounce. Strong challenge from Sapoguliev. Out to Hyderov. That's a throw for Arkadag. Always difficult for teams whose seasons don't run in line with the AFC club competitions. Nazarov out towards Gurbanov. That's why the J-League is going through the process of switching from a summer season to an autumn to spring campaign. There's Angelo. Out towards Salem. Quick 1-2 with the young Brazilian. Here's Al-Amri. Brazilian under-20 international is Angelo, joined Al-Nassr in 2022. Was on the books at Chelsea. Spent just a year there after leaving Santos, where he played as a teenager. Here's Al-Amri. Now Salem skips away from a couple of challenges. Ball won though by Nazarov. Hydrov with the touch in field, back to Beknazarov again. There's Belikov. They are so dominant domestically that they did well last season to step up to win the Challenge League in their first ever AFC competition season. They became the 3rd club from Turkmenistan to win the trophy after Balkan back in 2013 and Ashgabat in 2014 had won the AFC President's Cup, the forebearer of the AFC Challenge League. All shifted back by Beknazarov. Strong challenge from Mashari. The flag was up anyway, though. Here's Al-Amri. Arkadag with the week to train before the second leg in Riyadh. Al-Nassr, though, at the weekend will travel to Al Fateh in the Saudi Pro League before next week's second leg. And they're on the front foot already here, Al-Nassr. Shifted out to the wing. Now Salim finds his way through and delivers the ball dangerously into the 6-yard box, but listen to the roar as Arkadag get it away. Here's Angelo. Played in by Harib. And shifted on again by Al Hassan to Nader. Shari in fields. A real celebration about this contest. Too far ahead though for Gurbanov. Salim gets it away. The roof will come off this place if Arkadag do score. Mamedov in field to Beknarazov. There's Harib. Now Hamdan just had to check his run a little to avoid being offside. Hyman shifts it on. I think that's gone behind though for a goal kick. Just too much on the pass. Goal kick for Arkadag. Gariev, well, it wasn't the best piece of distribution that you'll see. Harib trying to shift it on. Hoyayev fighting for the loose ball, but it's picked up again by Harib, who's seeing plenty of it early on. Here's Angelo. Now Hassan. Al-Nassr starting this game with just 3 foreign players in their ranks, which is certainly unusual. Here's Ayman. Bento and Angelo, both from Brazil. Haida Abdul Karim is an Iraq international. Well, they're certainly snapping into the challenges, Arkadag. Buoyed on by this vociferous support. Too much on that though from Hoyayev, and here's Salem for Al-Nassr. Angelo. Good play by Harib. He's a good runner with the ball. Shifts it on one more towards Al Hamdan. Yeah, clever little ball through towards Al Hamdan. Well read though by Mamedov. Lively start to the game from Abdul Rahman Harib. Jorge Jesus has only managed 1 continental title in his long career as a coach. That was the Copa Libertadores back in 2019 with Rio club Flamengo. Angelo. Picks up the loose ball again, under pressure from Durdiev. Sapaguliev clears it away. Picking up all the second balls though, Al-Nassr, and that shot is deflected onto the post. Cleared away in the end by Anaguliev. But the first real strike in anger coming from Al-Nassr. Stadium holding its breath for just a second there. Caught hold of it, bit of a deflection as well onto the post. Struggling to get out of their own half too much at the moment though, Arkadag. Al-Nassr dominating the early possession. Here's Nader. Angelo. I think the more Angelo and Harib see of the ball, the more successful the evening will be for Al-Nassr. Salem. Angelo. Al-Hassan. On by Nader to Mashari. Touch off from Harib to Angelo, and here's Salem. Angelo just switching the play to the far side. Mashari. Ayman looking to get the cross in. It's cleared away by Sapaguliev. Now Angelo. Harib in towards Al-Hamdan. He's been fouled by Anaguliev. Al-Nassr free kick. Crowd here doing their bit to try and get the home side going, but Al-Nassr doing a pretty good job of silencing them so far. A lot of possession early on. Not too many spare seats, is there, to say the least here. Angelo. I think the last touch was off the head of El Amri. It's a goal kick for Arkadag. Difficult header from there anyway, even if he was unchallenged, but his was certainly the last touch. Gayev clears it away, picked up by Hydrov. Here's Gerbanov. Now Mamedov, a bit of possession for the home team. Anaguliev. Header on again by Beknazarov. Shifted on by Belikov, but given away. Here's Ayman. Trying to exchange passes again, and then now Hassan beaten to the loose ball by Belikov. He's the Arkadag playmaker that sits in behind Durdiev. The creative point of the Arkadag midfield. Well, they haven't played from December, but they have actually won their last 6 games, Arkadag, since a 1-1 draw against Andion of Uzbekistan back in November. 11 games unbeaten in all competitions since losing in Bahrain to Al-Khalidia. Quarter of an hour gone, 0-0. Cross by Al-Hassan. Midfielder who drops in between the defensive line when picking the ball up, and when they're on the back foot as well. Al-Hamdan losing possession, tries to win it back, but here's Hyderov charging forward now. San across to get the block in, and Arkadag have themselves a throw. Sapaguliev with the throw. Into the box again, and a little nudge there by Nadet. Nothing more than that. Arkadag supporters would like to have seen more. Hyderov going down a little easy though, under the challenge of Nader Al-Sharani. Saparov across, back to Gariev, who launches it long. Mashari's header away, Al-Hassan. Now Mashari. Yet to really come under any pressure defensively, Al-Nassr in this opening 17.5 minutes. Gurbanov will chase this one, but Al-Amri always favourite to get there. Bento clips it away to Salem. Ooh, Nader took a bit of a chance there and was fouled by Durdiev. Durdiev, who's capped 22 times by Turkmenistan, 3 international goals. Part of the last 3 successes for Arkadag, and he won the league, the Yokari Liga in Turkmenistan, as it's known, with Ahal in 2022. He's actually completed the double in the last 4 seasons, including that campaign. Harib. It's a good ball through by Harib. It's the opening goal for Al-Nassr. Harib has his assist and Abdullah Al-Hamdan has his goal. And 19 minutes in, it's Arkadag 0, Al-Nassr 1. And the quality of Abdul Rahman Harib opening up the Arkadag defence. And what about the coolness of finish from Abdullah Al-Hamdan? It's been a really solid away performance so far from Al-Nassr. It's a lovely finish from Al-Hamdan. Now replaying it through, and then Angelo with the final touch on to Al-Hamdan. But no surprise at all that Harib and Angelo both involved. Arkadag 0, Al-Nassr 1. Well, the goal has been checked and cleared. It is the Saudi Pro League side who have the early lead here, in a match that they have largely controlled in the opening 20 minutes. Arkadag were to cause an upset, the feeling is generally that they will have to do something special here, because it's going to be mightily tough at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh in a week's time, especially if they are chasing the game, which they already are. First ever meeting this, by the way, between these two clubs. It's Arkadag's first ever meeting with a club from Saudi Arabia. It's Al-Nassr's third game against a club from Turkmenistan. They won both the previous meetings against Arkadag. Both players down here, holding their heads. Yeah, Al-Nassr beat Arkadag 1-0 in the Champions League group of 1995, and then a 2-1 win in the semi-finals of the AFC Cup Winners' Cup, en route to lifting the trophy in 1998, which remains their only AFC club competition success. So perhaps it could be an omen there, facing Turkmen opposition here. Picked up their 6th successive win and 4th successive clean sheet as well in the 2-0 win against Al-Ittihad on Saturday. Scored 2 goals in the last 6 minutes. It was 0-0 until the 84th minute. Sadio Mane converted a penalty, and Angelo, who's just created the opening goal here, scoring the second 6 minutes into stoppage time. So both players back on their feet again. The upshot is a free kick to Al-Nassr. Here's Nader to Al-Amri. Not fazed at all by the wall of sound that they're facing here, Al-Nassr. And the partisan home crowd. Here's Al-Amri. Trying to pick out Ayman, but it was cut out by Sapaguliev. Now Hamdan with the touch off. Now Harib. Nader. Now a chance to attack with Hydairov. Just can't keep the ball, Arkadag. Now Al-Amri. There's no real pressure on Al-Nassr when they have the ball deep in their own half. Arkadag are more concerned with sitting back and inviting Al-Nassr onto them. Al-Amri. Here's Angelo. Touch off by Haider. Home side being largely frustrated. It's a rare feat to not win any of your opening 5 group stage matches and still qualify. A defeat and 4 draws going into the final game, which they had to win, and they did, in fairness. Setting up this opportunity to take on Al-Nassr. Nazarov touching it into Belikov, who was being fouled. It's a free kick to Arkadag. There's Mamedov. Gariev sends it forwards. Salem picked the ball off, but then lost possession. Won back by Al-Hassan. And all the way back to a relatively unemployed Bento so far. Salem. Al-Hassan. Good ball to pick out Al-Hamdan. He's dispossessed, look. And Akuliev brings it forwards. In towards Durdiev, but the return ball wasn't of the required quality. And Angelo intercepting. It is an Arkadag ball now, though. Yeah, it was late by Salem. Gabanov just getting his toe to the ball. Sapaguliev then over the free kick, the left back. Nazarov temporarily across, but moves away now. It's going to be the left foot of Sapaguliev, who whips it in. Bento under pressure. And the whistle has gone. First call to action, really, from Bento, who is a Brazilian international goalkeeper. Capped 6 times by the Seleção. Moved to Riyadh in 2024 to join Al-Nassr. There's 3 of them offside as the free kick is delivered in. So even if Bento was beaten to that, it wouldn't have stood. Ryman losing out here to Belikov. Now Angelo. Dispossessed by Durdiev, who rides another challenge. Doesn't have too much support though. Now it arrives from Mamedov. Oh, it opened up potentially for the shot. And Gurbanov just hesitated for a split second and the chance was gone. Better though from Arkadag, in an attacking sense anyway. Free kick quickly taken. Here's Al-Amri. Salem into Angelo. Al-Nassr more than happy with the tempo of the game. They're dominating it down there. Al-Amri. And they feel in full control, but while the scoreline remains only at 1-0, you never know. Here's Angelo. Cut out by Hyderov. Now Belikov. Deflected out for an Arkadag throw. Half an hour gone, Al-Nassr in front. Home side yet to create a chance, a noteworthy opportunity anyway. Oh, that's been given away. And a chance here maybe for Al-Nassr, and it's just towed past the post in the end by Angelo. Arkadag almost bringing about their own downfall there. And the Brazilian can't believe he hasn't squeezed it inside the post. Now Hamdan looking to repay the compliment. Well, Angelo was in. Gariev, the goalkeeper, committed. And that was a big chance for 2-0. And a big let-off for Arkadag. Five goals this season, Angelo, in all competitions. 2 of them have come in the Champions League 2. Scored his 5th goal of the season at the weekend in the win against Al-Ittihad. Belikov got a toe to it, but didn't come up with the ball. Ayman brings it away. Too much on that for Al-Hamdan. And the ball in behind asked a lot of Durdiev. Here's Salim. I think the foul has gone against Mamedov there. Salim played the ball forwards. Saparov not happy with the decision, the Arkadag captain. Taken short by Angelo. Now off Mashari, the right back for Al-Nassr, just hugging the touchline out there. At times they're effectively playing with just 2 defenders, 3 when Al Hassan drops in from midfield, but Mashari and Salem really have license to roam forward for Al-Nassr. It's a relatively narrow midfield they're playing with Ayman and Angelo just in behind Al-Hamdan. Harib floats around as well. Cleared away by Sapaguliev. Foot in by Haider, but didn't get a touch of the ball, and Gariev can clear it away. Al-Amri's header. Now Hassan back to Bento. It's a free kick, foul by Beknarazov. Al-Amri. Salim again seeing so much of the ball out wide. Here's Angelo. He's been the central figure of the game so far, the Brazilian. Haider to Angelo. Here's Al-Amri. Angelo, remain patient in possession, Al-Nassr. There's so many white shirts between the ball and the Arkadag goal. Al-Amri, just as I say that, he was impatient. 10 minutes to the break. Al-Nassr in front, courtesy of Al-Hamdan's goal on 19 minutes. Haidarov beaten to that by Mashari. Touch back by Ayman. Salem. So many link-ups in this first half between Salem, Angelo and Harib. It's the link-up with Harib and Angelo that led to Hamden's opening goal. Salem. Al-Amri into Angelo. They're so self-assured, willing to take the ball when surrounded by 2 or 3 opponents. Beknazarov struggling to put 2 passes together at the moment though, Arkadag. Al-Nassr winning the ball back very quickly after they lose it. Here's Al-Amri. Salem gets there. Mammadov across. Harib. Salem again. That's blocked behind off Gurbanov. The referee's given a free kick there. Did it come off the arm of Gurbanov maybe? He's not been overly tested, Rezul Gariev, despite Al-Nassr's dominance. They haven't created too much. The goal was a lovely piece of play, and then there was the big chance for Angelo, but that came from a Arkadag mistake rather than anything crafted by the away team. Angelo with the free kick. Hyman's header back into the box. Now a chance to deliver. Arkadag get it away. And Aguliev with the header. Mashari trying to win it back. Hyderov has looked pacey when the ball has come his way. '25-year-old left winger. Featured in all 6 of the group stage matches. Header by Mashari. Way through that yellow wall again. They've looked pretty solid defensively, Al-Nassr, despite the mass changes in the defence. Al-Amri, the only defender who started at the weekend against Al-Ittihad. Here is the Al-Nassr captain. Al-Nassr arrived, by the way, 8 unbeaten away from home in continental competition, 5 wins and 3 draws since a 1-0 loss at Al Ain in the Champions League qualifiers of March of 2024. 3 wins out of 3 in the group stage in this competition. They're on the back foot here, though. And that's a Arkadag throw. Aguliev touches it into Belakov. And Aguliev. Now Mammadov. Steps inside, delivers the ball into the penalty area. Goodness me, that could easily have been an own goal off Mashari. Mightily relieved to see it fall behind. That's much more positive, though, from Arkadag. Mammadov's ball in. Mashari stepping across and getting his foot to it. Well, they need something like this to go in for them. Sapaguliev again will swing it in with the left foot. The Arkadag left back. Headed away by Al-Nassr. Only as far as Mammadov, who was well off target. Another ever present in this competition. Ibrahim Mammadov, the right back. And by Haider. And they got bodies forward here. Al-Nassr. Now Hamdan in the penalty area. Haider plays it onto him. Now Hamdan goes for goal and forces the save from Gariev. And Al-Nassr have a corner. Now Hamdan, a new arrival in the winter window from fellow Saudi Pro League club Al Hilal. Swung into the box, headed away by Anaguliev. Mammadov did well. Haidarov, though, dispossessed by the challenge of Al Hassan, who is in turn fouled by Mammadov, and it's a free kick for Al-Nassr. Harib. Harib again. What up by Durdiev. He wants the return. Nazarov fighting for the ball. And wins the free kick. Another opportunity here maybe for Arkadag. Bit more bite now about one or two of the home team's challenges. Heading towards the final minute. The first half in which they've been second best. Header back across and claimed by Bento. Saparov underneath it. Unable to pick out a teammate though, the Arkadag captain. Salem. Well, no surprise in that statistic, is there? 74% of the ball, Al-Nassr. By Saparov again towards Hoyev. Hoyev again. Now back with Saparov. Anaguliev. Mammadov in space outside him. Neat ball with the outside of the boot though to Gurbanov. Chance to take on Salem. Just for a second, Hoyev I think thought he was through. But now Al-Nassr at the other end with the lively Harib. Now Hamdan inside him. And a couple of minutes to be added on. And Belikov sees the first yellow card of the evening. Yeah, it's a trip, wasn't it? Pleading his innocence, but he certainly tripped Harib, who's a tricky customer. Now Hassan. Al-Amri. Angelo. to see the difference in quality between the two sides in this first half. Frightening thing for Arkadag. There's the likes of João Felix, Brozovic, Sadio Mane, Cristiano Ronaldo, not even involved. Al-Hassan. Salem's header by Al-Amri. Al-Hassan to Nader, strolls forwards. Two Al-Nassr centre-backs, Nader and Al-Amri, so composed with the ball at their feet. There is Al-Amri. And the referee draws the first half to a close at the Ashgabat Olympic Stadium. A goal from Abdullah Al-Hamdan, the February signing from Al-Hilal. The difference between the two sides tucked away on 19 minutes, but Al-Nassr dominant and setting the tempo of the game. At half-time, it is Arkadag 0, Al-Nassr 1.
Yine de duşuk başlanıyor, hürmetli izleyiciler. Hürmetli adamlar, qadırlı sport oyuncu, futbol jankolar, bugün Aziyanın mercan şehri Ak mermerli paytaxtımız. Gelin. Çift sağa vücut aynen ya. Çift sağa vücut aynen ya. Çat.
Welcome back to the Ashgabat Olympic Stadium, where Al-Nassr are leading Arkadag by a goal to nil in the first leg of the round of 16 at the AFC Champions League 2, a place in the quarter-finals up for grabs. The second leg in Riyadh next week at the Kingdom Arena. As it stands, Al-Nassr taking a lead there. So it's Al-Nassr who get the second half underway. New signing Abdullah Al-Hamdan endearing himself to his Al-Nassr supporters, having just made the switch across Riyadh from Al-Hilal earlier this month. Free kick for Arkadag. It's a big 45 minutes for them. They can ill afford to fall further behind with the trip to Saudi Arabia to come next week. Really do need to be within touching distance. We're hoping to take some kind of lead to Riyadh, but haven't really looked like scoring in truth so far in the game. Free kick left a bit short in the end. Narazov with the disappointing delivery, but Arkadag have the throw. Mamedov with it into Belikov. Back with Chayev. Salem with the touchdown. Hoyayev picking up the loose ball. Gurbanov with the ball into the penalty area. Hoyayev twisting and turning and trying to eke out a shot, but well defended by Al-Nassr, and here's Angelo. And that's a free kick. Got to be more adventurous in this second half, Arkadag. Can understand their reticence to be so because of the goal threat at the other end from Al-Nassr. 22 goals in 6 group stage matches is an impressive return. Here's Angelo. Hayder. Hader again, the Iraqi international midfielder. Switched across by Al-Hassan and cut out brilliantly by Mammadov. He's got space to use here. Gurbanov ahead of him. Gurbanov quickly pounced upon though by Abdulrahman Garib. Hoyev. Now Gurbanov. Nazarov. Gurbanov back to Mammadov. Trying to weave his way through. It was a good run initially. Now Belikov. Sapaguliev with the ball down, but it's cut out by Mashari. And here's Hader. Too much on that though. Absolutely no chance for Nawaf Mashari to get on the end of that. Nazarov starting this move. It's back out to Gurbanov. Ian Hyderov look as though they could be good outlets for Arkadag if they can get the ball to them. Salem and Mashari both pushing forward. You imagine there would be opportunities to try and get in behind the two Al-Nassr fullbacks. They're so well covered though by the midfielders Al-Hassan and Hader when they do get forwards. Jorge Jesus has this side very well organised indeed. Coach who led their city rivals Al Hilal to the Saudi Pro League title and Kings Cup double in the 23-24 season. Began coaching, would you believe, 35 years ago. Here's Mammadov. Gurbanov beaten to that though, and cleared away by Bento. Now Hamdan challenging for it. Picked up by Hader. Out of contract, Al Hamdan with Al Hilal, so it was a free transfer to Al-Nassr. Certainly made sense in terms of a transfer for them. Helps with squad depth as well, which you need to be competing on multiple fronts as the top Saudi Pro League sides are. Here's Hader. On again to Mashari. Lifts the cross in, and it was an awkward one in the end for Gariev. Didn't look the best of deliveries in truth from Nawaf Mashari, and I thought Gariev was just going to catch the ball in the end, was forced to tip it behind for a corner. Just stood the ball up, Mashari. And Cheriev found himself backpedaling. Don't think it was dropping in, but he couldn't take the chance. He swings it in. And Guliev with the header out. Salem took a swing at it. And it's another Al-Nassr corner. Salem putting himself right in there on the goal line in front of the goalkeeper, Chariev. Corner taken short this time. Salem. It's another one. Gurbanov kicking the ball away in frustration at giving away a third successive corner. Al-Nassr keeping Arkadag penned back in. In again by Harib. It was a real scramble for the loose ball. Angelo took a swipe at it. Cleared away by Gurbanov. Arkadag need to get out to get possession, but the loose ball is picked up by Ali Al-Hassan. Here's Mashari. They've arrived with just 7 players on the substitutes bench tonight, Al-Nassr. Salem. It's a good ball down the line. It's fed into the centre. Ayman Yahya switching across to the far side and linking up with Salem, and Ayman's delivery was a dangerous one. Nobody getting on the end of it. And here's Durdiev at the other end. His cross is claimed by Bento. Hyderov was the only player forward in white for Arkadag. And therein lies the problem. Haider. Now Ayman. When they do get forward, they just don't have the bodies in support. The Turkmenistan champions. And the Iraqi midfielder, Haider Abdul Karim, is being replaced. And on comes Abdullah Al-Kaibari. Well, that was the run by Ayman and the delivery. Al-Hamdan, the intended target. Can Saparov, the Arkadag captain, launches the ball forward. A solid header by Nader. Touch off from Al-Hamdan. Now Ayman, here's Angelo. Just behind Al-Hamdan this time. Picked up though by Harib. Now Ayman shifts it across to Mashari. Arkadag with plenty of bodies back though, and it's another Al-Nassr corner. Great energy to get up and down. Mashari and Salem on the far side as well. Angelo with the corner, which is Al-Nassr's 4th. All of them in the second half. The ball headed away. And the turn and shot is beaten away from Al-Hamdan. It's a good save from Chariev. And then Saparov completes the clearance. It's another Al-Nassr corner, but that was a chance for his second goal. Abdullah Al-Hamdan. Caught it well enough. Anywhere else in the goal it would have been in, but he fired it straight at the goalkeeper. And Chariev did well, in fairness, to react and beat it away. Sat up perfectly, didn't it, for Al-Hamdan to strike. Harib short again. Al-Hassan. Now Mashari. Angelo had made the run for it, but Arkadag get it away. Here's Belikov. Well, more changes afoot here. It's going to be a triple change. Atayev is on. Meredov. And Mirat Berdiev will be the 3rd change. Hoyev, Durdiev and Hyderov, the 3 to come off. And an opportunity straight away here for Arkadag. Well defended by Mashari, well covered. Al-Nassr perhaps losing a bit of concentration in there with the substitutions. Al-Kaibari wins it though. Will the three changes freshen up Arkadag? Strong foot in. Now Kaibari winning it back. Shifted on again by Ayman. Angelo. Nice exchange of passes, but Saparov is back there to sweep it up for Arkadag. Sapaguliev trying to send the ball forwards. Heading towards the hour mark, and not an awful lot has changed in the game. Al-Nassr dominating possession of the ball. Still looking the more likely side to score the next goal. Striding run through the middle by Al-Hassan, but it's broken down and Belikov has it. Yeah, it's a foul by Harib. Arkadag free kick. Short to Atayev. One of the three changes that Arkadag have made. Up towards Meredov. Meredov, who's come on to replace Durdiev through the centre. Mirat Berdiev on the left side of the attack in place of Hyderov. Here's Saparov. Now Mamedov out to Gurbanov. Belikov looking to bring Mirat Berdiev into play. Saparov. Positive run forward. Sapaguliev. This corner of it goes. I think Mashari did well to keep that in play. It deflected off Ayman. And now it is a Arkadag ball. Well, their best opportunity, you feel, really has been set pieces. They've struggled to create anything in open play, Arkadag. You can hear the expectation in the crowds. Nazarov to deliver. It's a deep ball, trying to find the head of Saparov. Second ball picked up is Mamedov, clipping the ball back into the danger zone. Al-Nassr again come up with the second ball. And that's a free kick. Short spells of putting Al-Nassr under pressure with set pieces and the like, but no real period of sustained dominance at all from Arkadag. You have to say, given the environment they're playing here, It's been a very comfortable evening so far, that aside, for Al-Nassr. Meshari. It's probably as inspiring for Al-Nassr as it is for Arkadag, in fairness. Wonderful arena and wall of noise to play your football in. And goodness me, that was left short. Amri did well to get it away. Here's Angelo. Oh, it's a good ball through to Al-Hamdan. Just forced a little wide, though. Touch back again to Ayman. And the flag is up. Just for a second, it looked as though they'd opened up Arkadag again. Sapaguliev, who tends to take most of the set pieces for Arkadag. Meshari with the throw. Al-Hamdan, great vision to switch the ball out to Harib, who skips away from Mamedov into the penalty area, back to the penalty box for Al-Hassan. One back again by Al-Kaibari. And that's out of play from Mamedov. Al-Hassan. Now Meshari. They'd love a second goal, Al-Nassr. 25 minutes to go, still leading by that 19-minute goal from Abdullah Al-Hamdan. Al-Hassan. Now Meshari. Space here for Angelo. Now Ayman. Angelo again. Meshari on the overlap. Angelo curls it goalwards, but straight into the hands of Chariev. Immediately tries to launch Arkadag on the counter. Up towards Miradov. There's Nader. Al-Amri. Still no real pressure when they have possession of the ball deep, Al-Nassr. It's whether to stick or twist, isn't it, for Arkadag? They may feel that going to Riyadh with just a goal behind gives them a chance. There's Al-Hassan. Now Meshari. Now Ayman. Oh, lovely little flick by Harib. Cut out by Gurbanov. What they absolutely don't want is for the tie to be dead and buried by the time they travel to Saudi Arabia for the second leg. If they were to be beaten by 2 or 3 here, that would more than likely be the case. Al-Hassan. Now Ayman. And Kaibari. So if they could get the job done here, Al-Nassr, it would give them another opportunity to rest the big guns again. Hassan going for the return, cleared away by Anaguliev. Now Gurbanov, there's always a roar when he gets the ball, a big favourite with the Arkadag supporters. Given away though by Belikov, who's another. Here's Ayman. Mishari just running himself offside. It's back with Angelo now. Now Mishari. Angelo's still in support. Ayman. Angelo. Again, Mishari runs into an offside position. That quick ball through to him just isn't coming. Al Hassan. Ayman again, now a bit of space for Mishari to pick somebody out. Here's Angelo. Only Al Hamdan in the area, and the shot takes a deflection and is behind for another Al-Nassr corner. Arkadag have been guilty of not getting enough bodies forward, but the same can be said of Al-Nassr as well, despite their dominance of the ball. The amount of times that one of the wide players has been looking to deliver, and there's only really Abdullah Al Hamdan in the penalty area in yellow. Minutes to go. Al-Nassr a goal up, looking for their 7th straight win in this competition after producing a clean sweep in the group. Curled in by Angelo, headed away by Anaguliev. And Ayman happy to go all the way back. Belikov has been replaced by Bashimov meanwhile. So Abdi Bashimov on. Here's Meredov. Guliev with the cross in, and the whistle's gone though. As the shot was driven in by Mamedov, it wouldn't have counted. There was a foul in the centre. Bashimov, who's just come on by the way, is another of the Turkmenistan internationals. Yeah, it's a clear tug on the shirt, spotted by both referee and assistant. Mishari. Nader back to Bento. Doing a really professional job here, Al-Nassr, just keeping possession, winding the clock down, biding their time, being patient. In terms of an away performance in continental competition, it's been near perfect from Al-Nassr, heading for a 4th straight away win in the AFC Champions League 2 this campaign. Would be a 9th unbeaten on their travels in continental competition. Ayman. Harib, back to Angelo again. Well, Salem would have been in, but it was a good challenge by Mamedov. Gurbanov. Saparov. Guliev alongside him. Saparov, though, brings the ball out to Mamedov. Header won by Al-Amri. There's not a lot they haven't won this evening, the Al-Nassr defenders. No way through there from Berknazarov. Ayman. Berknazarov wins it back. Saparov back to Gariev, who launches it forwards. run of 5 straight home wins. He's in real jeopardy here for Arkadag. A run, though, that in truth was always likely to end this evening. Well, it remains at 1-0. There's still hope of snatching at least a draw here, despite the fact they've been second best for most of the evening. Actually unbeaten at home in 6 games in AFC competition, including the AFC Challenge League last season. 4 wins and 2 draws. Nader Al-Sharani. Just the 1 attempt on target in the entire game for the home team. Al-Nassr with 4 on target and hit the post, of course, early on as well. Is Al-Hamdan. Ayman cutting in, trying to get the shot away, but it was blocked by Sapaguliev. Al-Nassr with a player down, but Arkadag carrying on. Anaguliev out towards Gurbanov. Swings the cross in. The header away, not a particularly good one from Meshari. But then he got the block in on Mirat Berdiev. One of the 2 Al-Nassr players suggesting that perhaps their opponent should have stopped play with a player down, but they've every right to continue. Meshari, having made the initial mistake, did well to recover and get the block in. Quarter of an hour to go. Arkadag 0, Al-Nassr 1. Second leg in a week's time, next Wednesday in Riyadh. Corner to defend here. It really is amazing, that upper stand, isn't it? It looks like empty seats, but that's actually people sat there. 45,000 the official attendance, so pretty much at capacity. Can Arkadag give those supporters something to really cheer about? Seven up in white. Nazarov with the delivery. Put away by Al-Amri. Ayman Yahya dispossessed by Beknazarov. Al-Hamdan looked as though he'd won the ball initially, but a good challenge by Saparov to ensure he didn't keep it. '31-year-old now, Saparov. 32 caps for Turkmenistan. Al-Hamdan. Yeah, it's a free kick through the back of Ali Al-Hassan from Beknazarov. Al-Amri. Sapaguliev. It's not really worked for them when they've tried to get the ball forward quickly, Arkadag. Al-Nassr have comfortably intercepted when they have gone long. short by Al-Khaibari. Nader, Angelo, now Mashari. Here's Ayman. Angelo again. Well, Hamden has scored the opener. He's desperate for another. Constantly moving the Arkadag defence around. Here's Ayman, Angelo. Now Mashari. Arkadag again get it away. Gurbanov just switching sides for the moment and wins a throw. Well, they've not created a great deal going forward, but you can see why they've been so difficult to beat in this competition, Arkadag. Just the one win, remember that, by a narrow 1-0. Just the one loss and then 4 draws. But for that moment of magic from Harib and Angelo to set up Al-Hamden, despite their dominance, they've not exactly created a hatful of chances, Al-Nassr. Here's Mammadov. 10 minutes to try and eke something out of the game, Arkadag. Gurbanov loses the ball, and then Angelo is clattered. Here's Al-Amri. Al-Khaibari was in space, but it's fed across to Nader instead. Tended to focus a lot more on this near side second half, Al-Nassr. Mashari and Ayman. Chested down by Gurbanov, and Mammadov lifts it forwards. Here's Mammadov. Mirat Berdiev happy to see Mammadov take the throw. Everyone running away from him, though. Nobody's coming close to pick up the ball. Mirat Berdiev does now. Home fans bang Mammadov to get on with it. Let's try and get a bit of distance on the throw, and it's a somewhat cheap corner. Bit of miscommunication there in the Al-Nassr defence. Well, again, a chance to throw bodies forward for Arkadag. Six in there this time. Now Gurbanov arrives at the back, Bashimov and Saparov both in there, and Aguliev forward as well. It's an outswinger which is comfortably headed away. Now Khaibari in there getting his head to it. Chariev. 3-on-1 if it goes for them. Mashari doesn't pick up the ball, Gurbanov does. Delivers the ball dangerously into the penalty area, but again Al-Nassr have the numbers to get it away. Touch off from Ataev. Now Anaguliev looking up, assessing his options. And then plays it into just about the only area where there wasn't an Arkadag player. Header back into the box, Al-Amri is there. Under pressure from Mirat Berdiev, and it's a throw for Arkadag. And more changes afoot. And Gerbanov is the player being replaced. And the replacement is Begenç Akmamadov. A long-range effort is driven off target from Sapaguliev. Certainly capable of hitting them from there, the left back, but got right underneath that. Supporters have found their voices again, though. Can Arkadag produce a spirited ending to the game in which they've been second best, largely for most of it? Saparov to Sapaguliev. Now Mashari. Now they're back to Al-Amri. Salem skips on the outside of Mamadov, but just can't keep it in. Mamadov wants to get on with it, grabs a spare ball. Beknazarov, a little bit too quick for the referee's liking, and a little bit too far further forward than where the throw actually should have been taken. Saparov. Atayev's ball back was left short. One back by Beknazarov. Atayev. They've played their way out of a tight situation there. Arkadag all the way back to Chariev. Touched on by Bashimov. Hacked away by Ayman. And now here's Angelo. And he really has Al-Hamdan up in support with him. I think the free kick has gone in favour there of Al-Hamdan. Nazarov, the player penalised. Al-Nassr are getting ready to bring on Rakan Al-Ghamdi. Just happy to keep possession, Al-Nassr. Wind that clock down further. 3.5 minutes plus stoppages away from job done very effectively. All the way through from Bento to his opposite number. Now Mekan Saparov, the Arkadag captain. Played through the middle. Spotted the run of Mirat Berdayev. Al-Nassr continue their domination of the football. 70%. That's gone down from what it was in the first half by a few percentage. Fed into the penalty area again towards Mirat Berdayev. Good work from Bashimov initially. Anaguliev. That was a nice idea. Meredov would have been away, but it was well defended by Nader. Now Kaibari. Now Mashari. Still he waits to come on, Rakan. Kaibari again. Mashari. Here's Nader. It's been a really frustrating night for Arkadag. A side, remember, who have won every domestic match since their inception in 2023. Had a real step up in class here this evening against Al-Nassr. So Ayman replaced. And on comes Rakan Al-Ghamdi. The head of Mashari. Hassan helps it on. Here's Angelo trying to release Harib. It was a nice idea, but he's got a second bite now. Harib back to Angelo. And now Harib. And he puts it over the top. Well, it would have been a lovely goal had it come off. The two of them together picking their way through the Arkadag defence. And in the end, the opportunity falling the way of Harib. First touch allowed it to sit up for the little dink over the goalkeeper, but he got way too much on it. 4 minutes to be added on. Al-Nassr 4 minutes away from taking a lead for the return leg in Riyadh in a week's time. Miscontrol by Mirat Berdiev. Now Mashari wins the throw for Al-Nassr. Jesus making some more changes, and the goal scorer Abdullah Al-Hamdan being replaced now. Mohamed Maran is on. Saparov. Now Hassan out to Harib. And here's Maran, the substitute, immediately in on goal and forces the save from Chariev. Oh, what an impact that would have been. Good game, Harib. He and Angelo have been the standouts for Al-Nassr. The goal scorer Al-Hamdan as well led the line brilliantly, not just his goal. That's a strong hand from Chariev. It was a good strike from Maran. Maran pointing where he wants it. Al-Nassr keeping the ball. Here's Harib again. Goes on the outside. Clips it back into the danger zone and then headed behind for a corner. But Nazarev back there defending. Corner taken short. Look at our throw as we head towards the final minute. Might be another minute added on. There was a couple of Al-Nassr substitutions during that time frame. Raw for Bashimov. Sapaguliev with the cross in. It's all very pensive in and around the box from Arkadag. It's been almost a lack of belief in their game that they could get something, but maybe here, Mirat Berdiev. It's touched away. Oh, there was half a chance in there. Big roar as Akhmamedov went down under the challenge. The referee right there, though, to tell him to get back to his feet. Better from Arkadag. There's been a real reluctance, though, to get on the front foot and really take the game for Al-Nassr. Probably for fear of being cut apart at the back, but they're going to have to do something different now in Riyadh for the second leg. They are still within touching distance in the tie. But they will go to Riyadh, a goal down, Arkadag. Al-Nassr have produced a professional performance, and they have their lead to take to the Kingdom Arena next week. A goal from new signing Abdullah Al-Hamdan on 19 minutes, the difference. It has finished here in Ashgabat. Arkadag 0, Al-Nassr 1.